It is absolutely the perfect day to do a book review. It is raining outside, I have my cozy sweater, I have my cup of tea. It's really cold though, really cold. I'm kind of dying. Anyway, hello everybody, how are you all doing today? Today I am going to be doing a book review, and today I'm going to be reviewing the Covenant series by Jennifer L. Armentrout. The amazing, fantastic, extremely addictive Covenant series, which you all should go read. It was so good. So good. I read the entirety of this series in an embarrassingly short amount of time. That's just kind of what happens when you fall into a JLA book. You read the first one, and there's no going back. I don't think I'm going to be reading another JLA book for a while, mostly because I have read pretty much all of them. It's making me a little bit depressed, but I'm trying not to think about it. I'm just kind of like blocking that fact out of my mind. So in Half-Blood, there are three types of people. You can be a pureblood, a half-blood, or a mortal. If you are a pureblood, you are a direct descendant of the gods. If you are a half-blood, you are a child of a pureblood and a mortal. And if you're a mortal, well then you're just boring. This book follows a girl named Alex who is a half-blood, and half-bloods have two options in life. They can either basically become like servants, or they can go to the Covenant, where they can go to school with purebloods and half-bloods to train to become a sentinel. And a sentinel is kind of like a warrior. Their job is to fight and kill all of the demons that are residing in this world. Alex, of course, wants to become a sentinel, and she is ready to dedicate the rest of her life to doing so. But of course, things become complicated in this book. Things happen, Alex ends up discovering a lot about her past and who she really is, and things get complicated when there may or may not be some really messy romance stuff going on because, well, there is a rule that purebloods and half-bloods cannot mix. Nope. Relationships between pures and halves are forbidden, and of course our main character Alex is about to break that because this story wouldn't be interesting if she didn't. So that is a brief summary of what Half-Blood is about. The rest of the books you'll just have to wait and find out. Starting with the characters, Alex is such a wonderful main character to read about. She is spunky, stubborn, rebellious, incredibly blunt. Alex has so many quirky and humorous and interesting attributes about her that her point of view never gets boring. It is always incredibly entertaining. As for the other main characters, we have Aiden, who is a pureblood and is also training Alex to become a sentinel, and you can only imagine how complicated things get from there because, yeah, it is so scandalous. I loved every single character in all of these books. They each have such strong individual personalities. She always makes her characters so spunky and so funny. The thing that I probably love the most about Jennifer L. Armentrout's books is how incredibly hilarious they are. It makes it a very kind of light and fluffy fantasy series, which is something that I typically probably wouldn't be interested in. I just find that she does that kind of fantasy really, really well. She is able to combine fluffy, lighter, funny elements with some of the more serious and exciting action-packed aspects that fantasy can have as well. As for the world of this book, it does take place in our world, but of course it is a different version of our world because, well, we don't really have godlike beings walking on this earth. But I don't know, maybe we do and we just don't know about it. But the majority of these books really take place at the Covenant, which is where Alex and the other halves and pures are studying and training to become sentinels. As for the writing of this book, it's like pretty much any other Jennifer L. Armentrout book, and if you haven't read one of her books before, basically JLA has a very easy to read writing style, meaning that when you're reading it, you don't really have to think, you just get effortlessly sucked in. It is guilty pleasure, basically, kind of like watching a chick flick, but you're actually reading a really awesome fantasy book. I love reading Jennifer L. Armentrout's books when I am in a reading slump because I know 110% that they will always get me out of my slump. She writes everything so fast-paced and she has so much going on all at once that you just always are turning the pages and wanting to know what happens. She's really, really good at implementing all of the certain aspects of stories that a lot of us really like to have, like that really good slow-burning romance, that underlying level of suspense, and then of course really entertaining characters that always have really funny and engaging lines that always keep you entertained. As you keep getting more and more invested in the story, the plot becomes much deeper, things become more serious, and you become very invested in these characters. As for the romance in these books, oh yes, the romance. Fans of JLA know that she never fails to add a major heartthrob character into the mix of every single book that she writes. There are two guys in these books that guaranteed will probably have a lot of you swooning because they are perfect. I loved the romance in these books because it has a guilty pleasure forbidden thing in it. To be completely honest, as much as I do enjoy a sweet and simple romance, the scandalous and forbidden ones are always much more fun to read about. Yeah, that's really all I have to say about these books. They were just super, super fun to read. I read each of them, I think, in one sitting. They're definitely the kind of books that you can just fly through in maybe a few hours if you're super dedicated. I will leave a link to the first book, Half-Blood, in the description down below so that you can go and check it out more for yourself and see if it's something that you are interested in. I would love to hear whether or not you guys are deciding to read them, and you can also let me know if you've already read these books before because I would love to fangirl about them with you. I am going to wrap up today's review. So I hope that you guys enjoyed this quick little review. I just really wanted to share these books with you guys because I, again, just had so much fun reading them. I hope that you guys had fun with today's video. If you did, please give it a big thumbs up. I hope that you'll go and have yourselves a fabulous day, and I will see you guys next time.